Ladies and gentlemen, we'd love to extend our thanks to Mr. Vinod Thakkar for arranging this wonderful session by Mr. Sriram Attri. So let's have a huge round of applause there. And now that we are all energized and enthused after this fantastic session, it is now time to proceed to another very, very enriching panel discussion. We have with us our eminent panel members right here. Our next session brings to the table the different trends that are emerging in the South Mumbai residential market from the developer's perspective. In fact, what does a consumer research say? Are the South Mumbai buyers looking at large formats in the super premium segments? Or is there also some kind of a demand for smaller, affordable homes in some of the pockets in South Mumbai? A whole host of questions in store for all of you, best answered by the luminaries in the industry. May I first invite on stage our panel host for the session, Mr. Kazad Hateria, General Manager, Rustomjee Developers. Let's have a huge round of applause. May I please invite on stage Mr. Sunil Mantri, Managing Director, Mantri Realty. Mr. Mayur Shah, Managing Director, Marathon Realty. Mr. Nishant Agarwal, Director, One Avigna Limited. Mr. Srinivasan Gopalan, COO and CFO, Vadwa Developers. And Mr. Basam Mukherjee, Vice President, Marketing, Kalpataru Developers. Could we have the caller mic on, please? Thank you. And with that, I'd like to request our panel host to please start the proceedings of the discussion.
Thank you, lady in red. Really nice. Thank you. All right, Vikram, are you ready? I'm going to start by asking a question to everyone. How many of you sitting in this room want 100% transformational and radical change in their earnings and their success and their progress in the next 6 months? Everyone? Some people are putting 2 hands up, and they're trying to see if they have a third hand around. Okay, that's great. Is my voice traveling all the way behind? Okay, I'm gonna, before I start with these learned people out here, I'm gonna give you a very practical insight into how to do it. Mr. Sriram, hats off and salute to him for such an awesome, inspiring speech. Everybody in this room wants something. They have a goal. They think they would like to have 100% growth. Now, my next question is, how many of you have put a figure and a time on that growth? In the next 180 days, I'm going to meet so many new prospects. This is my strike rate and conversion ratio. These are the new marketing techniques I'm going to have. These are the various objections I am anticipating I will receive, and these are my answers ready I'm going to keep for them. These are the new people I'm going to meet. These are the new trade channels and the new trade journals I'm going to read. These are the new projects I'm going to understand. These are the new websites I'm going to visit. These are the new markets I'm going to study. They have a plan, and they tick off that plan. You know, Mr. Sriram was talking about, I can't see a single hand going up right now. That's fine. That's fine. That's human nature. What did Mr. Sriram say? Strategize, reflect, and act. It's an acronym for something we all love very much. SRA. So if you forget everything over here, remember SRA, strategize, reflect, act. Just wanting something is not enough. You got to reflect, you got to strategize, and most important, you got to act. Very quickly, the action will have to come from your intentions. One of the very powerful spiritual speakers has said that whatever comes out of your mouth is a product of your intention. If your intention is good, good things will come out of your mouth. If your intention is bad, bakwas nonsense will come out of your mouth, right? So keep good intention, the intention to make the customer happy and to produce value for him. Everybody wants 100% growth. I saw hundreds of hands going up right now. Everybody wants to make double the money in the next 6 months. How many of you have a mission statement of your own organization? Very nice. I can see a few hands going up. Congrats to those of you. Those who don't have, I recommend that they have it. I'll give an example of what, Vikram, can you show them the first slide, please? Can everybody read that carefully? This is the mission statement every customer in Rustomjee is shown as soon as they walk in. What do you think is the impression going to be on the customer after he reads this? Think about it. I urge you and encourage you to try out something like this for yourself. Try to make some placards like we call them ACE cards at where we work at Rustomjee. Next, please. What a shame the panel cannot see that. Can they see that over there? Oh, there. That's great. Price objection handling. Is the right time to buy? All these things will take care of it. I love this one. This is so beautiful. Your price is too high? Nah, I knew. It always brings a smile on all my customers' face. When they ask for discounts, I show this to them. Next. I can see a lot of smiles. I'm happy to see those smiles. Thank you. Next, please. People wonder, is the right time to buy? Just show this to them. Okay. %90 of all millionaires become through earning real estate. Sit. Yeah? Oh, nice. Thank you for your encouragement. Okay, there you go. Very quickly, I'm through. These are what Mr. Sriram said. Strategize, act, strategize, reflect, and act. Where did these come from? They came from strategy. I had a pain in my heart. How do I convince customers? Not right time to buy, fence sitters. So if you have a pain, if you have a goal in life, please use that pain to help you in your own progress. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use the best intellectual resource out here to see what value we can add. Whatever answers they're giving, make sure that you have a strategy. Okay, when I walk out of this room in the evening, I have 2 or 3 very powerful action plans which are going to help me double my income in the next 6 months. If you're not coming, or if you're not sitting in that chair with that intention, it's not, you're probably wasting your time. You might as well go right away and buy a ticket at Inox and enjoy a movie. Right? So right now, whatever they're going to say, anyone can say something which can help you make an extra crore rupees. Listen to them carefully, right? Yeah, now they're going to pay attention. Okay. Yes, sir. Okay, let me see. My job over here is to ask the most appropriate question to the most appropriate person. Are you giving me 2 mics? Look, he's already acting on the advice. In that case, give me 10 mics if that's going to work. Okay, good. One of the biggest challenges that our friends out here would like to know, see, as you can see from the show of hands, I'd like to address this question to Mr. Agarwal, since you have this awesome project. Hats off to you. Mr. Agarwal's Avignya Park, if you go and visit his website, that's a really nice website you have. Awesome website, really one of the finest, along with Kalpatu's really nice. Basav, you were selling your website, really nice. And biggest challenge they're facing right now in South Bombay is conversion ratios. They are seeing, is that not a pain area of yours? Yeah, I can see. Come on, be brave. Don't feel shy. Acceptance will come from willingness. What did Mr. Sriram say? First accept. Then you... Thank you. Remember what you learned, otherwise it's of no use, boss. So accept it, that my strike rate is down. Don't be like an ostrich with your head in the sand. It's not going to work. So now that they've accepted, they'll be willing to make a difference. So what is the advice that you'd give to them to double their strike rate in the next 7 months? What are the various things they should do better? Can you add some sound to the volume? Vikram? Oh, God.
I think the first thing I would do is show them that slide.
Okay, that's great.
Don't wait to buy real
Each
estate.
slide is 1 crore rupees, by the way. You can meet me afterwards.
Well, I think that a lot of the buyers in the market today, they've been shaken up because of all that they've been reading, because of regulatory approvals and all of that. I think that some confidence needs to be instilled into them that the investment that they are making, at the end of the day, they are going to see light and they're going to take possession of that. Because of all the regulatory hurdles and everything that are faced in Bombay, people are very uncertain about going ahead with the decision, whether it be instability of the rupee, whether it be whether the project will get hindered. So if I had to say that you need to show them the projects, you need to do your due diligence first and figure out which projects have their approvals and which are actually going ahead. And then they will value what you have to say.
Okay. So I think what Mr. Agarwal is trying to stress is product knowledge. How many of you have been to One Avigna Park? Sure. Okay. How many of you visited the website of One Avigna Park? If I ask you, what does the wind tunnel technology over there do? Well, how many of you will be able to answer that question? Poof. Silence? That's what I'm talking about. You know, but please don't mind, I'm here, we are both partners in each other's growth out here. As a matter of fact, I believe so much we are partners in each other's growth. Last night while I was revising, I even wrote a poem about the developer, and it's 4 lines. It's really funny. I thought, what do I do to entertain these guys? But I said, people keep talking about developer channel partner relationships all the time. So I wrote a 4-line poem. If we are the heart, you are the beat. If we are the ship, you are the sail. If we are the car, you are the wheels. And if we are the kite, you are the wind. This came to me at 12 o'clock in the night. So please don't mind anything I'm saying out here. Again and again, what I'm stressing out here is we all know what to do, but we are not acting. So all of you visited Avigna Park, all of you visited the website. How much of that have you retained which you're going to transfer to the customer? How many of you can stand up here and say, these are the 10 powerful selling point of Avigna Park, One Avigna Park, or whatever project. 10 product knowledge, like a parrot, you can say it out loud. Think about it, introspect, strategize, act. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the insights. Mr. Mayuresh has got another iconic
unique situation I have ever come across in my 20 years of real estate, where the commercial properties are selling almost 40 to 50% discount to residential property in the same location. The buildings which we have, Marathon FutureX is a world-class building, gold-rated green building, one of the benchmark with one of the best buildings of the world. So there's a huge expenditure being done on the commercial property. So the pitch which we give to our customer, okay, these disparity in the commercial residential is a very temporary phenomenon. Because land remains same. If the land prices are still going to be 15 to 20,000 rupees a square feet, this is the one-time opportunity to buy a commercial property in the range of 17 to 18,000 rupees a square feet. I think right across my street, I think his building is commanding around 30, 35,000, if I'm not, maybe more, 40,000. He smiled at me. So how can that be possible, you know? So that is something, and Lower Parel, Central Mumbai, one of the best connectivity. You have Central Railway, Western Railway, a monorail, reaching BKC Airport, South Mumbai, all in 15, 20 or 30 minutes. So it's unbeatable location for future. So this is how I see that BKC's accessibility, social infrastructure, reaching there, and the price. If you all compare apple to apple, I think there is no-brainer. Somebody should straight away go and buy at Lower Parel.
Great. You know what to answer now when somebody asks you that question. Thank you, sir, Mr. Shah. Next question to Mr. Mantri. Welcome back. And that's really, lots of people must have wished you a speedy recovery. That was really fast. You really have a strong immune system sitting out here. People are saying that now, town, 20 minutes from Fort at half the price, you can get luxury property, right? How do you counter something like that? Why would somebody from Sobo say, okay, fine, something is 10 crores here, the same thing for 5 crores I can get for a 20-minute drive. What do you say to a customer like that when they talk to them?
Exactly. I think whenever the great infra is done, there is a great challenge also. But I believe always, South Mumbai has some unique features. If you see comparatively, compare any area, whether Bandra or Khar or any other areas, always notice that the infra what South Mumbai has, the congestion or connectivity, or you take it anyway, I think it is much more superior. That's one. Any city in the world, across the globe, I'll talk it, the CBD is always treated as expensive, even though connectivity is beautiful in other Western countries. So I think there will be always a challenge, there will be always a comparison. As the infra improves, the developer in the neighboring area is always going to compete with a South Bombay project and he say, hi, this is the infra, it is available. But then there is a great quantum of the difference. If you compare a South Mumbai project particularly, but this conference is addressing South Mumbai more, I think it has a world-class feature, as on today also. If you compare the infra facilities, what is available in suburban, whether Andheri, Bandra, Khar, any area you take it comparatively, which is quite congested, small lanes, huge FAR with one FAR plus one TDR and loading on that. So it becomes very, very tight, those areas. Compared to that, South Mumbai is comparatively beautiful. The roads are wide. So I think South Mumbai will always have an edge compared to extended suburban. Of course, that doesn't mean that suburban doesn't have a potential. I think these are the areas where huge development you will see. Large number of the apartments are also coming in South Mumbai and both will work in a own way. In the coming time probably, the persons who are staying in the town will try to, working in the town will try to have the accommodation in the town. Those who are staying in suburbans, once a time, I think Navi Mumbai staying in a Navi Mumbai was considered as not that good. But I think Navi Mumbai Palm Beach rate, if you see today, they are as competitive or as comparable to a extended suburban of Mumbai. So that's the way each of the peripheral area is going to develop in the coming time. And really we can't compare this product versus that product, one. Second thing, what I have noted, many times the articles in the newspaper, say one particular flat sold at 1.35 lakh square feet, rupees a square feet. I think these things create a lot of problem for the industry. I'm not very happy with such a type of the deal. The moment immediately land prices goes up, and I know that new project, nothing is being sold at that price. So one particular transaction, it is like olden days 37I. So I think we should restrain away from such type of the transaction and try to have a reasonable price level. And if that is done, I think always South Mumbai project will command a premium. Suburb will have a feature, but then South Mumbai will have an edge on the properties which are coming up over there.
That's great, that's great. Yeah. That's nice. Next time you sell something worth 1 lakh rupees per square feet, please tell the market मैंने 25,000 में बेचा यार. 135. हाँ तो 1 lakh भूल जाओ 35,000.
It is 135.
So automatically land prices will come down and then automatically things will get better for you, your strike rate will improve. Saying it in a lighter term, but yes, that's a really serious challenge out here. The land buyers are like vultures standing and waiting to quote the highest price and then take a premium on that. Thank you, sir. Good insight. Mr. Srinivasan from Vadwa. You're a financial expert from what I learn about you. There is resistance, my friends out here tell me there is resistance at 35,000 rupees per square feet price. And how do you think, being a financial expert, private equity funding, I mean, structuring deals starting from the purchase of land, what can be made better so that things and life gets easier for these people out here? What kind of financial restructuring needs to be done in our industry?
First of all, I'm not a financial expert. So I just work in the finance department.
Okay, he's just being humble. Okay.
Yeah. Having said that, I think it's very, very important first to identify the right developer. Because any financing is a matching of heart and not the project alone. I was with a financial institution yesterday and they put weightage of only 10% to the project. 70% to the global environment, 20% to the credibility of the developer. The intention of the developer to repay, you do any kind of documentation, nothing is going to work if the developer does not want to pay. So the humble request to each one of you is identify the right developer, ensure that the title of the property is very, very clear, and the third thing and the most important thing is the project makes some kind of money. The financial market is just not developed in India as compared to the world that you can see, especially for the commercial real estate. I mean, we do all the hard work, we build the building, No private equity guy wants to touch you until the building is ready, and once the building is ready, they come back and ask, have you leased it out? And the third question is, if you have leased it out, what is the price point? And if he finds it is within his pocket range, is when he comes on the table to do a deal. And at that point in time, we don't really need him, because we have lease rental discounting, in which time in 9 years you get the asset back and you can enjoy the capital appreciation. So there has to be a revolution that needs to happen on the private equity deal. Having said that, I would just like to add one small thing to what my colleague Mantri ji said. One is, we can be very, very happy thinking about the fact that South Mumbai will always remain South Mumbai. History speaks, nowhere in the world one region actually is at its peak forever. Right? So, as my colleagues, as my friends, and I think you should have a balanced strategy. You should have some projects in South Mumbai. Also consider all those projects which are going to be called South Mumbai very soon. A Vadala will be called South Mumbai, which is like 7 minutes from Orange Gate. A Chembur, which is 12 minutes, will again be called South Mumbai. So I think it's very important that you identify and be ahead of time in identifying all those locations and developers where you can join hands. Because ultimately, हमारे में कहावत थी कि बिल्ली जब भी आँख बंद करता है तो उसे लगता है ये रात है. I think it's all very important that we open our eyes and see where is the location moving. There is a clear trend. South Mumbai, 15 years back, it was my aspiration to actually either work in South Mumbai or live in South Mumbai. Living, I can never afford. So I thought at least I will work in South Mumbai. And unfortunately, fortunately, I have not been there as well. So I work in Bandra Kurla complex, which is the future in our opinion. We have huge exposure there. So having said that, it's very important. The first thing is to accept and acknowledge that there is going to be, the South Mumbai is shrinking. And it's all in our benefit that we identify projects and developers which is near to South Mumbai. I completely agree with you that we will always carry a premium, but will the velocity take care of your household? I think that's important for you to consider. This is something which I want each one of you to go back and think, that what is South Mumbai? Redefine South Mumbai. And that will help all of us. Thank you very much.
Yes. The way we are going, very soon Bandra will be in South Mumbai, it looks like. And then Andheri also, and then Thana also, and we are all South Mumbai.
No, we are.
Delhi is only North Mumbai, we are South Mumbai.
I am a clear supporter of the central Mumbai, because reaching Thana may be much faster than reaching Bandra from here. So you look at the kind of infrastructure that has been created on the central suburbs as compared to the western suburbs.
Yes, sir. Point taken. Thank you for making it lively. Appreciate that. Great. Basav, I got a really tricky question for you. I was attending a seminar on importance of social media. Social media. How does social media affect friends out there? How many of you are active on social media? I mean, if you're not, it's not too late. It's not too late. I can see a few hands going up. But it's very, very important how social media affects customer behavior and customer decision making. I was at a seminar on marketing about importance of social media, on how it acts as a trigger for buying for customers. Innocently, one person made a tweet on one of the very tall, super tall structures, the tallest residential building in the world, with the deepest girders next to Chicago Towers. This has the second deepest girders in the world. And that person tweeted innocently that there's a big problem with this tallest structure in the world. Anybody knows what the biggest problem is? It's something that a lot of us will not even think about. That person wrote, Vasav, okay, this structure, monolith, is right between the Radio Mirchi Tower and between Doordarshan, and massive radiation is going to fry the Beja fry, in short. It's going to fry the people who are staying right in between. Now, this is imagine somebody who's going to buy in that building, he reads that, and what's going to happen to that poor developer, and how should he counter these kind of things? So the question being, importance of social media and customer buying, and how to take countermeasures to address that.
Yeah, sure. I think all of us need to be cognizant of the fact that the world has shrunk. In fact, there used to be some 6 degrees of separation, and I think today it's only 1. I think if we know one person, we know the person knows. And a lot of this is because of the way in which social media has played a huge part in our lives. I don't think any of us can think today of a world without social media, despite the fact that I think till as late as 2007, we hadn't really interacted with it. So it's critical. I think there are two important elements here. One is we must, as brands, as people who run important businesses, as well as people who are conscious citizens, we must always keep a watch on what is happening in social media. Many good things happen in social media. I personally believe that social media brings up many things. It's almost like an RTI of a kind, you know? So many good things happen in social media, but what is very critical to do is that at any stage, if you believe, or I believe, that there is something which is not right, it needs to be addressed. If there is a customer who's had a poor experience and has written about it in social media, that customer has first of all done that only because he did not have, or she did not have the confidence of the system. So immediately give confidence to that customer. I think it's important to acknowledge the error or acknowledge the complaint at least and take mandatory action immediately. I think it reassures people that somebody is listening. Most importantly, solve the problem. I think 99%